Hi, welcome to day 15, the last day of Steph's Take, the live stream series where I feature concepts from two books through the lens of the accountability evangelist. Today's books are The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey by Kenneth Blanchard, William Oncken Jr., and Hal Burrows, and Developing the Leader Within You by John Maxwell. You may have noticed I'm slightly distracted today. I've got several monkeys that I'm taking care of that you are going to learn why in just a second. So I guess that tips you off that I'm going to start off with the first book, The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. So let's talk about what's going on there. Okay, so in order to be a good leader, you must spend a lot of time in quadrant 2. We've talked about that in many of our series videos. Quadrant 2, just as a reminder, are things that are important but not urgent. And one of those important but not urgent things is to spend a lot of time with the people you lead. But how do you do that? Well, you have to make time for that. So now I endeavor always to have more time for them than they have for me. That is accomplished by expanding the amount of time I have for them and contracting the amount of time they have for me. All right, so how do you do that? Well, you can't be carrying everybody's monkeys. So what in the heck is a monkey? I mean, clearly, we have several of them hanging out with me right now, but from a conceptual standpoint, we need to understand what a monkey is. The monkey is not a project or a problem. The monkey is whatever the next move is on a project or a problem. So the idea is that you should only be keeping monkeys that belong to you. If you are constantly picking up other people's monkeys, then you do not have time to do the things that are most important and the things that only you can do or only you can do really well. And that's the whole point of this exercise. So let's talk about monkey management. All right, there are 4 rules to monkey management. The first one is to describe the monkey. So describing the monkey means to define what the next action is. If you are a GTD fan, Getting Things Done by David Allen, you know that that is the first step, is to describe the next action. The second rule for monkey management is to assign the monkey. Assigning involves a single monkey. Delegation involves a family of monkeys. So a single monkey represents a task usually. A family of monkeys might be a whole project that has tasks in it. Then the tasks themselves can be delegated to other people. And then we have insure the monkey. So there are 2 monkey insurance policies that you typically use. The first is recommend then act, and the second is act then advise. And the idea is to get them moving fairly quickly to act then advise, because the best way to develop responsibility in people is to give them responsibility, which may be a counterintuitive thought, and we've had several of those in this series. If you're concerned about people not doing things well, you might hold back from them, but the best way for them to shine and to learn how to shine is to give them a chance to actually do it. And then finally, we have check on the monkeys. You have to meet regularly, scheduled in advance. So if you delegate a monkey to somebody, you can't just let it go and never worry about its whereabouts anymore. You have to check on its well-being regularly. And you should do that in advance. So I have regular one-on-one meetings with my team, and they have a top 3 every week. And usually a top 3 is basically monkeys, and we check on them every week. And we start off each meeting with, how did you do in the top 3? Now, if you're the person holding the top 3 and holding the monkeys, you don't really want to show up in your boss's office week after week saying, I didn't take care of my monkeys, I just kind of left them alone. That's not a good place to be. And so that sets up a really good cadence of accountability for your people if they know they're coming into your office every week to report on the whereabouts and the well-being of the monkey. All right, so the lesson is that we pick up monkeys way more often than we should, and it doesn't serve anybody well. Let me tell you a quote from the book that illustrates this very well. How easily we needlessly pick up other people's monkeys in all arenas of life. In the process, we neglect our own monkeys and make other people dependent upon us and deprive them of opportunities to learn to solve their own problems. Okay, so again, why should you do this? To get more Q2 time, right? The more Q2 time you have, the greater your satisfaction is, and also the greater satisfaction your employees experience, because self-reliance and morale are positively correlated. So if you give people responsibility and they see that they can do it, their self-worth, their confidence, their self-esteem goes up, and then their morale goes up, and therefore the morale around them goes up, because morale is contagious, as I'm sure you know. All right, so what does this look like in practice? So we were just talking about the theory behind monkey management. Let's talk about it in practice. And now you get to meet all the monkeys that are hanging around with me. I'm looking for you, ED. Okay, ED lost his little tag. We're going to take ED off of me, please. Okay, ED is empty dishwasher monkey. Now, empty dishwasher monkey, you know I love you more than everybody else does, and I take the best care of you, but I'm not the only person that can empty the dishwasher. The thing is, though, I secretly kind of like doing it. So what I do with empty dishwasher monkey is I have joint custody. So I have custody of ED in the morning. After my workout, I come upstairs in the basement or outside for my run, and I empty the dishwasher, and I love you, and you know that. So that's the deal. But then after that, empty dishwasher monkey goes to other family members the rest of the day. Okay. So let's see where your cousin's hanging around. Where did you go? There you are, LD. Okay, LD is, you guessed it, load dishwasher monkey. Now, load dishwasher monkey is not my monkey at all. And when I have to babysit load dishwasher monkey, I get very cranky. So I don't want to do that. And I shouldn't have to do that, because I have capable people in my house who can load the dishwasher. So they just need to be taught how to do it and expected to do it and given the responsibility, which is what I do. Okay, who's next? We're looking for DW. You're right here. Okay, DW, you're just kind of hanging there. Okay, so DW is Design Website Monkey. Design Website Monkey is about accountabilityevangelist.com. As you may know, I recently bought the domain for Accountability Evangelist. Kid and Prep LLC is still my business, but we're going to go with the DBA of Accountability Evangelist for the primary leadership and coaching work that I do. So, designing the website. I know how to do that. I designed the Kid and Prep website, but now I have my daughter Faith who can help me design the website. So yes, I have ideas about it and a certain way that I'd kind of like it to look, but what I can do is use a monkey insurance policy. So for the monkey insurance policy for DW, for design website, is recommend then act. So Faith gets to come up with the colors, with the themes, that type of thing, and then we sit down and review what she's suggesting, and then once I okay it, she can go implement it. So nice job, DW. Okay, who's next? Wait a minute. What are you doing, empty dishwasher monkey? We already talked about you. Oh, so what that means is that low dishwasher monkey actually was taken care of, which is wonderful, which means it's time to take care of empty dishwasher monkey again. But as I told you before, I have joint custody and only assigned to the morning, so you're going to have to go back and find your other guardians that take care of you the rest of the day. Oh, okay, sorry for that distraction. Who do we have left? We have CD. CD is Conduct Demo Monkey. So in my primary job, I used to conduct the demos for most of our customers, but I don't do that anymore. Scott gets to do that. So this is really Scott's monkey now, and he has a different insurance policy than Design Website Monkey had. His insurance policy is Act Then Advise. So he goes and conducts the demos with the customers and lets me know how it went, and it's working great. Okay, that leaves us with finally LA. What is LA? LA's around my neck. It's very hot. So let me take this off. Okay, LA. Let's see how we go. Let me get myself situated here. We're back in. There we go. Okay. LA. LA is lead ambicams monkey. Now, LA even has his own little cute cape, his own little accountability evangelist cape. LA, lead ambicams monkey, is my dear monkey that I take care of because only me, only I can lead the ambicams in the way that I do. So this monkey is mine to take care of. It's my responsibility. I have to make sure the live streams go on time. I have to make sure I post regularly and I check on my members, and I love doing it. So thank you so much, LA. I will say, though, that if I have to take a vacation or a break or I need someone else to check on you, Denise is doing a great job of that and is very capable. But you are my favorite monkey. So I hope you enjoyed that little illustration of monkey management. Okay. So hopefully this is not a letdown. We're going to move to the next book. And I chose this book for last on purpose because John Maxwell is outstanding when it comes to leadership. He has several books. I featured 2 of them in this series. Ethics 101 was the other book, and this book is Developing the Leader Within You. So leadership is influence, really. Again, it's not titled leadership necessarily. It's influence. And there are 5 levels of leadership according to John Maxwell. I'm just going to read the titles to you, and they are position, which is when these are position rights. People follow because they have to. Permission are relationships. People follow because they want to. Production is results. People follow because of what you have done for the organization. People development is number 4, which is reproduction, which means people follow because of what you have done for them. And personhood, which is respect. People follow because of who you are and what you represent. So typically people start at 1 and they move all the way up, ideally, to level 5. Not everybody reaches level 5, but that is the goal. So as we talked about in the other book, do only what you can do, and you want to do that first. Okay. And I have a quote about that. Let me just see which one I want to talk to you about. Okay. If the requirements of my job are the same as my strengths that give me the highest return, and doing those things brings me great pleasure, then I will be successful if I act on my priorities, right? So do what you can do and do it first. Okay. And by doing that, is you're spending the time in quadrant 2. So if you're keeping track, which I doubt that you are, I have mentioned quadrant 2 a million times in this series. So if you're still not sure what that is, you can check out my blog, check out some of the earlier series videos. It is taken from Stephen Covey's Time Matrix, and it's a great concept, which again is where you spend the most time on things that are important but not urgent. All right, so how do you do that? So if you're working on things that are important but not urgent, how do you make time to do them? And that's somewhat difficult because if they're not on fire, then sometimes it's tempting not to start to work on them. So what you can do is put artificial deadlines in place, which is something that we talked about with the productivity project. Under normal conditions, we are efficient, that is, doing things right. When time pressure mounts or emergencies arise, we become effective, which is doing the right things. Efficiency is the foundation for survival. Effectiveness is the foundation of success. So if you're only at efficiency right now, take heart. This is how you develop the leader within you. You're going to move toward that effectiveness. And of course, if you want to be a respected leader, you must be accountable, because the only way to keep the goodwill and high esteem of the people you work with is to deserve it. And you have to work at that every day. You don't just get to the place where you deserve it and you get to keep it forever. You have to earn your leadership every day, which is a quote that is escaping me who said that right now, but it's definitely true. Okay, the next thing, let's see, if you're trying to drive change, something to keep in mind is that people view change according to the way they view the change agent, which is really another way of saying the quote I just said a few seconds ago, which is that people are only going to give you respect if you earn it. So the change piece is just another layer of that, where typically leaders are driving change, right? That's a priority that leaders have. And in order to do that, you have to be respected, and you have to be respected by doing things that are accountable. nearly all the time. Okay, you are human, you will make mistakes, but then you own up to them, which in itself is very accountable. All right, so I want to just do a quick conclusion quote for these two books for today. Both authors were focusing on helping people solve problems rather than helping solve people's problems. As a leader, that is something you want to aspire to. You will make a way bigger impact if you are teaching them to fish as opposed to doing all the fishing for them. So that brings us to the end of the first ever Steph's Take live stream series, where I've featured concepts from two books through the lens of the accountability evangelist. Now, I love books, and I have way more than 30 books on my bookshelf, and I've read way more than 30 books, so I will likely be featuring books in the future, but I will also feature other topics according to what I find useful and interesting for you, but I'd also love to hear feedback, so please message me or comment about the things you'd like to hear about in the future. And the best way to stay in touch with me and to stay on top of all this material is to join the AMBICAMS group. AMBICAM is Ambitious Accountability Ambassadors. I'd love to have you as part of the group if you're not already. If you're watching this live, I know that you are because it's only live in the group. But since I am then posting it on the Kid and Prep Facebook page and also my personal site, maybe I'll snag some new members that way. Would love to have you. So I pulled a quote from John Maxwell's book to give you the conclusion for the series. When you do the things you ought to do, when you ought to do them, the day will come when you will do the things you want to do when you want to do them. So that means in order to achieve your most ambitious goal, you need to be accountable and serve others, and good things will come to you. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you next time on a future video. Take care.